Good afternoon. This is Sarah Sefton. This is my station observation report for Unit 3. I did 5 days of observation starting on Sunday, January 29th and finishing on Thursday, February 2nd. I performed these observations from my home research center in the Steel Creek neighborhood just north of Fairbanks up in the hills. The time of my observations was between 3:07 p.m. and 4:15 p.m., most of them falling around 3:30 p.m. Temperatures over the week varied, peaking in the middle of the week and then decreasing again. I noticed that towards the end of the week, my two probes were measuring very different. The minimums were the same, but the maximum temperatures were up to 6 degrees different, depending on the day. So I adjusted them and I got that difference back down on the final day to within just a few degrees. My observed temperatures stayed between the maximum and minimum temperatures throughout the week, about 10 degrees lower depending on the day than the maximum temperature, and around 5 degrees warmer than the minimum temperature depending on the day. My observed temperature peaked on day 3 at 23 degrees. This is in line with the peak maximum temperature of 28 degrees on day 3. My minimum temperature observed was 9 degrees on day 4, and this does not coincide with my minimum recorded temperature, which was 3.5 degrees on the final 5th day of recording. I recorded my pressure and station pressure without adjusting for sea level. The pressure increased sharply from the first day to the second, from 982 millibars to 1,026 millibars. It went up slightly over the next day, and the last 2 days remained steady at 1,043 millibars. This pressure could have been the reason that the clouds I observed throughout the week were very light. There was no precipitation whatsoever and very little cloud cover on any of the days. The clouds that I did see were altocumulus in the first couple of days. There was some texture to them overhead, but they were very thin and transparent, some streaking towards the horizon. Then they turned into more cirrostratus or cirrus clouds towards the end of the week. By the last day of observation, there were just very faint streaks at a few places in the sky, both overhead and at the horizon. The wind that I observed was strongest on day 2 at a 3 on the Beaufort scale. I estimated this by throwing some dry powdered snow into the air and watching how far it blew and what direction. I also did the finger test and stood in different directions to see which direction my hair was blowing in order to determine wind direction. The wind came from the north every day of my observation. There was no precipitation throughout my observations. So I think that's it for this week. Thank you very much.